love a good laser beam struggle, but let's be real. Sometimes you don't want magic. Sometimes you just want to see two people absolutely beat the daylights out of each other in a parking lot. These are the moments where the animation budgets vanished into a flurry of fists and the choreography hits harder than my dad's disappointment. Let's get into it. Gogeta is dirty. It's grungy. It looks like it was drawn with a Sharpie that was running out of ink, and you know what? I love it. The aesthetic here does so much heavy lifting, giving the fight a graffiti art vibe that feels distinct from the polished look of standard anime. Ryo vs. Nomu is a showcase of weight. The characters feel heavy. The camera work is dynamic, swinging around the characters to emphasize the momentum, but the art style keeps it feeling raw and street level. It's scrappy, it's unrefined, it captures the essence of a gutter brawl, where technique matters less than the willingness to bite someone's ear off. Fight that launched 1,000 memes. But looking past the questionable noises Hizoka makes, this battle is a stroke of genius. In most shonen, the protagonist wins by punching harder. Here, Gon is completely outclassed and he knows it. The entire fight is a puzzle. How do I land one hit on this murder clown? The moment Gon flips the floor tile to create a smokescreen, you realize this isn't a brawl, it's a strategy game. And when that punch finally connects, oh my god, the silence, the wind-up, the sheer catharsis of seeing Hisoka's face get caved in is perfect. Speaking of taking hits, your phone takes more punishment than Gon did in that fight, and it doesn't have Nen to protect it. That's where Rhino Shield comes in, the sponsors of today's video. Look at this Hunter x Hunter collection. I'm rocking this Killua design right now and it genuinely goes hard. They've also got a lot of new designs including this Gon and the Hunter x Hunter logo, but you can even check out their designs for other anime as well. They've got a massive catalogue, so whatever you're into, there's probably something for you. Now, beyond the designs, the actual projection is no joke. The solid suitcase features reinforced corners and shock-absorbing grooves that tank up to 71% of impact force. Your phone could eat a drop onto concrete and walk it off. Plus, they're mono-material, so fully recyclable. And if you need a stand for binging, they even have an aqua stand, a water bottle with a built-in phone mount. Perfect for those long sessions. Link in the description, code VINNY15 for an extra 15% off. Go grab your Rhino Shield case now. I remember sitting in the theatre for this, clutching my popcorn like a safety blanket, fully unprepared for the seizure I was about to induce. Dragon Ball usually operates on a simple logic. Whoever screams loudest wins. But this fight, well, this was Toei Animation looking at their bank account and deciding, we don't need money, we need glory. The transition from 2D to 3D and back again was so seamless, I barely registered my own jaw hitting the floor. It's a sensory overload that simulates what it feels like to be inside a particle accelerator. It's the absolute peak of turn your brain off and watch the pretty colours, and I've never been more entertained by two screaming men in oversized pants. Look, I'll be honest, I went into Ninja Kamui expecting a generic revenge plot. Well, it is that, but I also got John Wick in a ninja suit. The opening arc of this show features some of the crispest, most violent close-quarters combat I've seen in years. The clash between Higan and Zai is a technical marvel. It blends traditional ninja weaponry with brutal, bone-breaking hand-to-hand exchanges. The director, Sung-Woo Park, the same madman behind Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, has a fetish for impact frames. Every parry sparks, every kick sends a shockwave. It's incredibly fast, but unlike a lot of modern shows, you never lose track of the action. It's precise violence. It satisfies that reptilian part of my brain that just wants to see cool guys do cool flips while stabbing each other. This is the one that hurts, okay? I don't think any fight in Naruto, or maybe shown in history, understands the language of violence quite like this one. There's no loud hype music, just the cold, rhythmic clashing of kunai and the sound of two broken men trying to kill their past. The way Period wove the flashbacks directly into the real-time choreography is masterful. We aren't just watching Kakashi fight Obito, we're watching a child spar with his best friend while the adult tries to kill an enemy. Every block and counter is muscle memory from a happier time, twisted into a death match. Okay, let's get ugly. And I mean that in the best possible way. Garo then looks like it was drawn by a guy who's actually been punched in the face. This isn't the pretty, sparkling combat of Demon Slayer. This is sweaty, uncomfortable grappling that smells like stale blood and mats. Watching Juzo fight is like watching a car crash in slow motion. The show obsesses over the mechanics of the human body, specifically how to break it. When Himekawa gets put into a submission hold, the camera lingers on the joint, bending the wrong way until you instinctively check your own elbows. It captures the sheer exhaustion of wrestling, that feeling of drowning in someone else's grip. It's not flashy, it's not Sakugai in the traditional sense, but God, does it feel real. Been on my channel in the last 5 years, you would have seen this clip. You know the one, don't you? The guy looks like a sleep-deprived college student while effortlessly humiliating multiple people at once. For the longest time, I thought Chinese animation was just great value anime, but the Outcasts shut me up real quick. The choreography here is built on Wing Chun and Tai Chi, but it flows with this lazy, liquid precision that's mesmerizing to track. Wang Ye barely moves his feet, and it's one of those rare one-take sequences where the camera becomes a participant, weaving between arms and legs to show you exactly how outclassed these goons are. It's the ultimate I'm not even trying flex. Welcome to the Shibuya bathroom experience. I've been in public restrooms that felt dangerous, but Yuji vs. Choso is straight up horror movie disguised as a martial arts flick. MAPPA decided that sorcery was getting a tad bit boring, so they turned JJK into the Raid Redemption with neon lights. The confined space is the real MVP here. They aren't flying around in empty skies, they're smashing into sinks, shattering mirrors, and drowning in toilet water. It feels claustrophobic, every hit has this visceral, wet crunch to it that makes you wince. I love how tactical it gets. Yuji realizing he's outgunned and turning the entire environment into a weapon. It's gritty, it's wet, and it features the most aggressive use of plumbing I've ever seen in animation. OGs know my love for this anime. Fog Hill is what happens when you give a bunch of artists an unlimited supply of ink and zero supervision. The speed of this exchange is genuinely hard to comprehend at the first watch. It uses this frantic brushstroke style where the characters distort and stretch with the momentum of their strikes. It feels like the animation itself is trying to keep up with the fight. Wenren is practically breakdancing with explosions attached to his limbs. It's chaotic, beautiful, and distinctively Chinese in its presentation. If you ever wanted to see what a calligraphy brush would look like if it learned kung fu and did a line of coke, well, this is it. We have to pay our respects. This fight is a masterclass in Jeet Kune Do, but it's also a masterclass in atmosphere. There's a weight to the movement here that modern anime often forgets. When Spike gets hit, he doesn't bounce off a wall like a rubber ball. He crumbles. You feel the gravity, you feel the bruising. Vincent is a tank and Spike is just trying to survive the storm. It's two guys in trench coats kicking the stuffing out of each other amidst a swarm of Halloween balloons, and somehow it's the coolest thing ever put to film. It's smooth, it's jazzy, and it's undeniably cool. Usually, Fate fights involve shooting lasers or summoning swords, so when these two decided to drop their weapons, activate a wrestling match, and throw hands on top of a jumbo jet, well, I was all in. This is a rare moment where Fate gets gritty. Seeing a Greek hero put a centaur in a chokehold is something I didn't know I needed on my bingo card. The choreography is surprisingly technical, focusing on grapples, sweeps, and joint locks rather than magical explosions. It feels personal, you know? It's a student surpassing the teacher, but instead of a written exam, the test is a fistfight at 30,000 feet. It's the best kind of absurdity that only anime can get away with. How do you make a fight interesting when one guy is invincible? Well, you make the other guy try really, really hard. But you can't help but root for the guy as he pours his heart, soul, and life force into simply trying to get Saitama to care. The scale here is stupid. We go from a fist fight on a ship to a kick that sends a man to the moon in 3 seconds flat. The animation captures the sensation of speed better than almost anything else in the medium. It's a tragedy wrapped in a spectacle. Boros is having the fight of his life, giving 110%, channeling the energy of a collapsing star, and Saitama just looks like he missed a sale at the supermarket. It's the definition of overpowered. Let's dip back into the Donghua world for a second with Super Cube. Yeah, the name sounds like a terrible mobile game, but don't sleep on the hands this show throws. It doesn't have that traditional choppy anime rhythm. It flows with a smoothness that usually costs a studio their entire yearly budget. The fight between Wang and Mushan is a clinic in momentum. The animators treat physics as a mere suggestion, letting characters careen off floating debris with a kinetic energy that's mesmerizing to track. It's not just about the hits though, it's about the recovery animations, the way they bounce back and counterattack without a single lost frame. It's hyperfluid, visually distinct, and proves that Chinese 2D animation is carving out a lane that puts a lot of seasonal productions to shame. It's your time to shine. Show me your power and smash that like button right now. If you're new here, you might as well subscribe to the channel. Join my members community for some early access. Thank you. This is what happens when you let animators treat a fight scene like an experimental art project. To be Hero X delivers some of the sharpest, most aggressive 2D animation I've seen in years. It doesn't have that standard anime look, it feels like a moving comic book that's trying to punch you through the screen. Smile is a terrifying opponent to watch. He fights with this jagged, erratic snap that contrasts perfectly with Dragon Boy's disciplined martial arts. The impact frames here are heavy, flashing with neon colors and bold outlines that make every hit feel electric. It's not just about movement, it's about rhythm. The choreography stutters and accelerates with a chaotic energy that feels less like a choreographed duel and more like a violent freestyle. It's stylish, it's loud, and it drips with so much cool it practically leaves a puddle on the floor. If you think you know what impact looks like because you watch Demon Slayer, well, sit down. You know nothing. This fight is the Lollapalooza. It's two piles of muscle and testosterone deciding who can give the other more permanent brain damage in a boxing ring. What Madhouse did here is legendary. The sound design is violence incarnate. Every hook sounds like a gunshot. It's the demolition derby of anime fights. There's no magic, no ki blast, just the guttural, sweaty reality of two men refusing to fall down because their pride is heavier than gravity. By the end of it, I felt like I needed an ice pack from watching.
5発も撃てば十分だったろうに300発以上も撃ってしまった。
We've all seen the hero overcomes the villain trope a million times, but we rarely see the hero stop using technique and start spamming the A button until the controller breaks. This fight is pure, unadulterated button smashing, and it is glorious. It's the philosophy of plus ultra visualized. All Might realizes he can't outmuscle the Nomu, so he decides to hit it 300 times in a minute just to see what happens. Bones animated this with such ferocious intensity that you can practically feel the wind pressure coming off the screen. It's the symbol of peace, telling a bioengineered monster that he doesn't care about its regeneration hacks because he's just gonna punch it into the stratosphere anyway. Say what you want about the pacing of this show, it moved faster than a frantic Wikipedia summary. But the fights, Mappa was absolutely cooking. This finale is a love letter to Taekwondo, filmed with a camera that refuses to sit still. The flow here is ridiculous. It transitions from grounded martial arts to supernatural kaiju battles and back to fists without missing a beat. The way Jin Mori moves is liquid. It's distinct, recognizable Taekwondo footing mixed with anime physics. I love the ink brush aesthetic they throw in for the final clash. It adds the mythological weight to what is essentially two teenagers kicking each other in the face. It's style over substance, sure, but when the style's this good, who needs a plot? I can't explain Baki to a normal person. I mean, I just on. The fight involves a father and son beating the absolute life out of each other, then having to make-believe dinner with imaginary soup, then going back to fighting. It's a fever dream of masculinity, but looking past the memes, the animation of the muscles here is grotesque art. It's anatomy pushed to the point of horror. The sheer force behind Yujiro's strikes feels like a natural disaster. It's not realistic martial arts, it's mythological martial arts where imagination becomes physical damage. It's stupid, it's loud, and it features a man being used as human nunchucks. It's peak fiction, and I won't hear otherwise. Before One Piece became Aura Piece with lightning everywhere, we had Enies Lobby. This is raw. This is desperate. There's no Haki, no Gear 5 Looney Tunes, just a rubber boy pushing his blood pressure to fatal levels to save his friend. The jet gatling is iconic, not because it looks cool, though it does, but because of the scream. Mayumi Tanaka's voice acting here rips your heart out. You feel Luffy's exhaustion. The choreography is a brutal exchange of Rokushiki techniques versus street brawling, ending in a flurry of punches so fast they vanish from the screen. It's the moment One Piece proved it could do serious, emotional combat just as well as the goofy stuff. If Baki is the fever dream of martial arts, Gengan Ashura is the underground illegal stream. This fight is a slugfest. It's two monsters who decided that blocking is for cowards and technique is optional. The CGI here, which I usually hate, actually works. It captures the weight and momentum of grappling better than most 2D animation can. Watching Ohma and Raian trade blows in their advance and removal forms is like watching two freight trains collide on repeat. It's bloody, visceral, and satisfies that primal urge to see violence without consequence. It's not about who has the better style, it's about who has the thicker skull. Ed is short, angry, and honestly not the best fighter in his own show. That's why this fight rules. He can't overpower Greed's ultimate shield, so he has to outsmart it. Ed uses alchemy mid-swing to rearrange the carbon in Greed's armor, turning the hardest defense into brittle charcoal. It's fighting with a PhD in chemistry. The choreography is tight, fluid, and perfectly demonstrates Ed's adaptability. He's scrapping for his life, weaving under punches, and using his automail arm as bait. It proves that in FMA, a brain is just as dangerous as a fist. Terminator, but make it an idol anime. That's the pitch. And somehow which studio turned that into one of the cleanest action shows of the decade? The CQC here is robotic, literally. It's calculated, precise, and devoid of wasted movement. Vivi fights with the program's efficiency, breaking limbs and dodging bullets with zero hesitation. The camera work during the Yugo fight is breathtaking, spinning around the environment to show the speed of the AI processing. It's a different flavor of hand-to-hand combat. It's not emotional or hot-blooded, it's cold, hard steel crashing against steel. It's elegant violence, choreographed like a dance routine where the finale is a broken neck. Remember when Seven Deadly Sins was good? Before the dark times? Before the white blood? This fight is a painful reminder of the greatness we lost. It's a friendly spar that accidentally destroys a mountain. The scale is immense, but it stays focused on the fists. Barnes' snatch ability, trying to steal Meliodas' strength while Meliodas just speed blitzes him, is a joy to watch. It's fast, punchy, and captures the camaraderie of two immortals who can only bond by murdering each other. The impact frames were crisp, the animation was fluid, and it stands as a monument to a time when A1 Pictures was actually trying. Rest in peace, animation quality. You are sorely missed. Delinquent anime is back, baby. Windbreaker took the baton from Tokyo Revengers, looked at the stiff animation and said, I can do better. This fight is a street brawl treated with the respect of a martial arts tournament. Sakura isn't a hero, he's a socially awkward kid who communicates via roundhouse kicks. His fight with Dogame is a clash of philosophies. Dogame's relaxed, immovable stance versus Sakura's erratic, defensive aggression. The animation emphasizes the snap of the hits and the footwork on the asphalt. It feels grounded. It feels like a fight you might actually see behind a 7-Eleven, just with slightly better hair and more dramatic monologues.